Hello, YouTube friends. Miss Jennifer back with another story. Today we're going to read A Fish Out of Water by Helen Palmer and illustrated by P.D. Eastman. Helen Palmer was Dr. Seuss's wife. So if her style sounds familiar, that's why. "This little fish," I said to Mr. Carp. "I want him. I like him, and he likes me. I will call him Otto." The little boy went to the pet store to pick out a fish. He's going to get that little goldfish right there. "Very well," said Mr. Carp. "Now I will teach you how to feed him." And then Mr. Carp told me, "When you feed a fish, never feed him a lot. Only so much, and no more. Never more than a spot, or something may happen, and you never know what." It's fish food. Then I took Otto home. I gave him some food. I did not give him much, just one little spot. But this did not make Otto happy. He wanted more food. He had to have more. Poor Otto. He just had to have more. What do you think's gonna happen? I knew what Mr. Carp had told me. Never feed him a lot, never more than a spot, or something may happen and you never know what. But I gave Otto all the food in the box. This is not going to be good, friends. And then something did happen. My little Otto began to grow. I saw him grow. I saw him grow and grow. Soon he was too big for his little fish bowl. Uh-oh. There was just one thing to do. I put Otto in the flower bowl. "There, Otto," I said, "this will hold you." But no, the flower bowl did not hold him. Otto went right on growing. This was not funny. Not funny at all. His tail was growing right out of the top. I grabbed the flower bowl. I ran with it. "Otto," I said, "I know just where to put you. Then you will be all right." So I put him in a big pot. But Otto was not all right. I saw him grow some more, and very soon he was too big for the pot. I put him in pot after pot. He was growing so fast. Poor Otto, my poor little fish. Oh, why did I feed him so much? "Otto," I said, "stop growing, please." But Otto could not stop growing. He was growing all the time, and very soon I ran out of pots. Otto had to have water. There was just one thing to do, and I did it. I grabbed him. I grabbed him by the tail. And I ran with him up to the tub. The tub is big, and it can hold lots of water. At last. "There, Otto," I said. "The tub holds my father, the tub holds my mother, so it will hold you too." But the tub did not hold him at all. He went right on growing. "Oh, Otto," I said, "what can I do now?" Then crash! The door went down. Crash! Otto went down too. and I went down. Oh, what a ride! Down went the water into the cellar, and down went Otto, too. I had to do something fast, so I grabbed the phone. At least the cellar's larger than the bathroom. I called the policeman. "Help, help," I said. "I fed my fish too much. Mr. Carp told me not to, but I did." "What?" said the policeman. "Mr. Carp told you not to, but you did. Too bad. I will come at once." The policeman came. "My fish went that way," I said. "He's down in the cellar." The policeman ran down with me. "What a fish!" he said. "He is much too big to keep in a cellar. We will have to get him out." I hope this boy's family has flood insurance. We had to work and work to get Otto out. Poor Otto! Oh, why did I feed him too much? Mr. Carp told me something would happen, and it did. It did! Now we had Otto out of the cellar. But now Otto had no water. No water at all. "A fish has to have water," I said to the policeman. "We must take him to water. Get help. Call for help on your radio." The policeman called on the radio. He called for the fireman. "Help, help," he said. "A boy has fed a fish too much." "A boy has fed a fish too much. We will come at once." The firemen came. They all helped get Otto up. "But where can we take him?" I asked. "Uptown? Downtown?" "Where do you think they should take Otto? He needs water and lots of it." "To the pool!" yelled the fireman. "To the pool!" I yelled. "And please hurry!" So they're going to take Otto to the pool. They did hurry. The fire truck with Otto came right up to the pool. The firemen yelled, "Everyone get out of the pool! This fish is going in!" Otto looks very happy, but the swimmers do not. Down into the pool went Otto. Into the pool with a big, big splash. Now I was happy. Now at last my Otto had water. Lots of water. This big pool was just the thing. This big pool would hold him. But Otto went right on growing, and no one wanted Otto in the pool. They did not like Otto at all. "You take that fish out of here," they yelled. They're running out of options what to do. There was just one more thing to do, and I did it. I ran to the phone and I called Mr. Carp. "Please, please help me," I said. "I fed Otto too much." "Oh dear," said Mr. Carp. "So you fed him too much. I knew you would. I always say don't, but you boys always do. Yes, I will come help." Then Mr. Carp came. He had a black box in his hand, and lots of other things, too. "What are you going to do, Mr. Carp?" I asked him. But Mr. Carp said nothing. He just went right up to the pool. He's in his swimsuit with goggles and flippers. What do you think Mr. Carp's going to do? I don't know. He took his black box with him and all the other things too. Splash! Mr. Carp jumped into the pool. Splash! Now Otto went down too. All I could see was his tail. I could not see Mr. Carp at all. What was going on down there? What were they doing down there in the water? Now I could see nothing. Not Otto, not Mr. Carp, nothing at all. Would I see my Otto again? Would I see Mr. Carp again? Mr. Carp, I yelled. What are you doing? Are you all right? Then up jumped Mr. Carp. In his hand was a little fish bowl, and in the bowl was my Otto. Mr. Carp had made him little again. Don't ask me how I did it, he said, but here is your fish. And from now on, said Mr. Carp, please don't feed him too much. Only so much and no more. Now that is what I always do. Now I feed Otto so much and no more, never more than a spot, or something may happen, and now I know what. The end. Let me read to you a little bit about the author before we go, friends. Helen Palmer was married to Dr. Seuss. So here we go. Helen Palmer was a graduate of Wesley College and Oxford University and a teacher of English before she became involved in the creation of books for children. Simply put, very well-educated English teacher. She has since edited literally dozens of successful juveniles and written an even dozen of her own. That means that she has written and edited books for children. Married to an eccentric writer, Theodore Leisig, himself a beginner book author, Miss Palmer lives in California, raising plants, and swims fearlessly into caves full of lurking eels and devotes the rest of her time to local civic projects. So, basically, she was very much into swimming and plants. Theodore Leisig was one of Dr. Seuss's pen names. A pen name is a name that you write under. Dr. Seuss's real name was Theodore Geisel. Leisig was his last name, Geisel, spelled backwards. I don't know where he got the doctor from, and I think Seuss was his mother's maiden name. So, friends, I hope you all enjoyed this book, and you can find more Dr. Seuss books and more Helen Palmer books at your local library or wherever books are sold. And there's our friend the Cat in the Hat on the back there. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll get more into reading. See you next time, friends.